wear glasses, but I figured I'd get these ones because they look pretty cool on me. Hopefully you guys like it. Welcome to the channel. It is LOAG, Legend of Gamers. If you can hear me okay, give me a thumbs up. I am coming to you right now live, and for two reasons. One is to cover the fact that there is a PS5 pre-order, and the other news and updates of what I think about Xbox and how hard it was for some of the players and friends that I've known to get these consoles and what's going on with the games. I know I'm a little late on this, and I am sorry. I also want to come in here and explain that my friend, Zombie Fan, that we love so much and dear, he is officially left the channel. It wasn't because he wanted to, it's because he had to. It just that with COVID hit, his family's been really struggling, and his dad got really sick, and he just had to do extra work, and that took up so much time from what we were doing here. So from now, I'm just going to be streaming live. If there's a mess behind me, I'm sorry for it. We're still remodeling. I'm going to try to do better. But yeah, as I said, so let's get into this. While I'm playing a little bit of COD, and hopefully I don't suck while I'm playing this. But in reality, I got a post yesterday on Twitter where 64 did come out, and he claimed, and I want to make sure I'm reading this right. He did say, and the rumor's going out that there will not be consoles on launch day if you pre-order this week with the PS5. Yes, there is pre-orders PS5, GameStop. He did find out by an employee, but I then called my GameStop. And with that being said, hold on, let me exit out of that because that was all bad. There we go. That's better. So, with that being said, that way I'm not having echoes here. Let me see. Do I want to go to... Ooh, I only got one choice. Let me see. Well, I guess I could do that too. So, as I was being said, as I was getting into it, he did say that there was good pre-orders, but he did say that there will not be, there will not be any kind of, launch. You will not get yours on launch. Now, that is maybe true for his store, but I don't think that's for every store. The store I called, they confirmed it. I called immediately after I saw that post, and our managers had just got the videos sent out and all this, updating what they were getting from the district managers, emails and all that shit, emailing them know. And so Sony is releasing on PS5s. Now, I don't know if it's just a hard disk only. That is not going to be confirmed. What has been confirmed is that they will launch, and then what has been corrected is that you will get yours on launch day. Supposedly, no matter if it's a second order or not, you're still going to get yours on launch day. So, having that being said, your whole, that being said, be there super early in the morning because it's in-store only. That has been confirmed. You cannot order it online. I think they're doing that to avoid scalpers in general. Not like that is going to be a problem anyway. But the whole, yeah, everybody else is that. Now, my friend, as I said, we got a news, Zombie Fan. He has been a great person of the channel. He is the reason why I probably haven't really posted in a while and shot a video in a while, and for a few reasons. One is because I'm just barely getting the games back, and two, because I didn't know how I felt about going on without him. And through a long talk with some friends and family, I realized that I just can't hold out to you guys. And I really want this channel to succeed, and I know you would want it too. And I feel kind of bad for leaving you guys, and I'm really sorry for that. I thank you for all you people who are currently still subscribed to me. If you do wind up watching me or give me a like, let me know. I'm going to try my best to do this on my own. Right now, we're not going to do any editing. It's just going to be live videos for now. So I think everything's just going to be stuck in there. So what you get is what you get. Until I can, you know, learn how to do a lot of the things on my own and things like that he was so good at that I just didn't have the talent for. Besides all that, I want to get this out of the way. Now, the pre-orders for Xbox, that was a crash. And a lot of people are saying that, you know, oh, bash Xbox, bash this. I'm pretty sure it's, with all this going on, there's a few things that I think we need to realize. Sony and Xbox did mess up. I'm going to tell you this. The one way to exploit scalpers, and was back in the day, was any console. This is a console that has been done for 5 years. I think a lot of it had to do with limited stock, which was ridiculous. This is the first console in like 5 or 6 years that's coming out. And in these 5 or 6 years, you were expecting only 12 people at each store to get a console? No. You knew that this was going to be a frenzy from 6 years ago. But when you decided to even come up with the damn console, you knew that it was going to be a frenzy at the store, because it's new technology. No one's had a new console for all this, and you're building up with so much hype. And you get 12 consoles. I was there at 6 o'clock. I got lucky. I got there around like 7 o'clock in the morning, and I was still the 4th person in line. And I look at the sign on the door, and it says, oh, there's 6 discs and 6 diskless. And I'm like, okay, first and foremost, no store is going to make a profit. No store is even going to make it, even this is worth it. And I'm thinking, well, okay, our lines are crashing. I'm like, well, the point is, when we used to do this, the best way to avoid scalpers was to do it in-store. Now, I did find out some very sad news about some GameStops. I don't know if this is happening at all GameStops, but I know it's gotten some pretty good wreck, and I heard it from, I want to say, I can't remember his name, but he was a YouTuber that I just happened to watch today, and he shed some light on some things. He said that he was gonna, that GameStop's employees have been buying these consoles, managers and all, before Wednesday, last time they did a pre-order, bought them, and then told people on Thursday to come back Thursday, and then when they came back Thursday, there was none left. And all the employees and managers, and there's some receipts to prove that crap, which I was shocked, but it doesn't pass me, because there used to be rules where managers are not supposed to give out anything until after. Yeah, they do have perks where they can pre-order things, but there has to be enough pre-orders for the people. And knowing that there was going to be limited stock, I'm pretty sure that there was no excuse for any employee to pre-order anything that moment. I get it, they deserve it, they work hard, but, you know, if you're going to pre-order, you need to, like, you know, make sure that you do only pre-order one. Now, these guys are buying 6 and 4 of them at a time, and they're selling them straight on eBay and all this other stuff. So they're doing it purposely to scalp it. So it's not really just scalpers are happening within the stores. And I'm pretty sure that's not just GameStop. I'm pretty sure that this Walmart or anybody else who's, you know, employees are just, you know, if they can get away with it, they're getting away with it. The only downfall is they're putting them underneath names, but when they go to claim those, they're going to know that that's for an employee, and their manager's supposed to fire them. Now, I don't know if the district manager's going to find out, but I'm pretty sure if we give it enough up on the YouTube, district managers of GameStop stores will go out there and fire those people and managers. Sadly, it was the managers too. I'm sorry, but you should have known better not to do that. I mean, it's bad enough to just take one. We don't mind you guys taking one, but come on. There's like 60 people waiting in line for you. And you're sitting over here like, oh, well, I'm just going to pre-order 4 of them and sell 6 of them online for twice the profit. No one's going to want to do that. And it's sad that you didn't go that far. You should be the one person that doesn't do that. As much as you're a GameStop gamer, you should know and understand the frustration of that. And I'm not going to blame fully on GameStop because it's not their fault that they had limited quality in the first place. I think it was bad of Sony and Xbox to not realize how important this was. And I think companies should have realized that even during COVID, you should have known this was going to happen anyway, and you should have just butt your tongue. Because at that morning, I turned around I was looking at it, and I'm like, okay, well, you only have 6 consoles, and then they want you to meet a quota, right? Because we all know GameStop has to meet a quota, right, to buy things and buy extra things. If you didn't buy those things, then you would get, you know, crammed. And I seen that in action. When I was at the store, one of my managers from my store was getting called by her boss, crammed out because he realized he didn't sell much. I go, well, you give somebody 8 consoles, and I turned around 6 people today after those 8 consoles because nobody else wants the freaking diskless for the Xbox. You have a problem. You just lost like $5,000 or $2,500 just off of those 5 people that I turned away. Because if you think about it, it's $500 per person, $2,500. There you go. On top of what you could have made today, and then their sales would have been fine. But and then you're trying to push extra stuff that's not even in pre-orderable at all, calling it a bundle, and then putting it out like that. And I think honestly, dude, like this goes for all stores. I don't care what you are. If you expect you guys to meet a quota, and you're gonna fire people for quotas, you need to make sure you put out stock. Now, I'm pretty sure that I don't know why this happened, and we still don't know why. There's a rumor going around that maybe something had to do with a lot of the because of the game and things like that. The legacy of the Xbox and all this other stuff, the hardware and all that stuff is being hard to get by with the Chinese tariffs and all that other crap and everything going on with China. And I get that. That could be a tough one. But if they weren't ready, they should have never released it. And I get that they're trying to release it for Christmas, but what's the point? I mean, I would have rather waited to 8 longer and then eventually, like, say, okay, now we have everything right. No hardware's crashing. No, nothing's crashing. Everything's right, and you guys made sure everyone got it, and not just 1 or 8 people that day that got an Xbox. And I get Sony did a little bit better when it came to that. They had like 50 at the store, but that's at that store. We don't know if it was at all stores or 50 for one store. I seen some even had only 1 at one store, and I'm like, who the hell are you gonna? Why are you even open? Like, why even bother? And then if you try to order online, try to get online, there was none available. Like, GameStop couldn't even pre-order for you guys. So it's like, I get that. Now, in all due respect, I love GameStop, and the only reason why is because besides GameStop, if we lose them, we have no, really, besides big marketer stores that will give you good deals or good bundles. Like, you can go to GameStop and pay $50 and pre-order it. You can't go to Walmart and do that. You know what I mean? And if you do, it's layaway, and you have to pay it up faster than you can say the word duh. It's for some a lot of people that's a big thing. And then at the same time, they don't always honor bundles. GameStop's the only one that really gives you bundles and exclusives and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, they have their perk, but I think having them, really having them do something like this is really upsetting. It makes no sense. You should have known that there's going to be like at least 100 people at the store lining up, and you know, people are getting pissed instead of turning away. And it's not because they didn't. It's not because they didn't show up before it opened. It's because even though they showed up before it's opened, the first 8 people that they were supposed to get there were supposed to get a console, and that's it. It doesn't matter if you showed up right at 7:01 or 10 out of 10. It doesn't matter if you were like the 9th person in line and you showed up that early in the morning. You were still being turned away, and it's so sad that not even the employees knew about it. And I'm thinking, well, okay, well, how do you not know you're only going to sell this? Oh, I'm just doing my job. No, bro, like, dude, stand out there and explain your situation. Like, that is just horrible. Like, it's just really done. I pray that they fix this, but besides all that, I think Sony and Xbox really didn't care about how much they really pushed, as much as they claim to do. I'm grateful that they're getting out more ps5s, and I'm really grateful. But I think it's really upstrunging how you know how to avoid scalpers. Back in the day, when before internet, you could order online and any of that crap, you would be able to. You had to go to the store and pre-order, and people would line up, and there would be like so many consoles, like at least 100 to 200 consoles per store, no matter what. I mean, about 500 consoles per store that you could pre-order, and then that's how they did it, and it worked smoothly. No one was scalping it until they got the pre-order, and then they actually pre-ordered in the store, and then they scalped it online. And employees couldn't do anything. The rule was the employees were not allowed to pre-order anything unless there was enough consoles after the fact. And I get that, and that makes sense because you're an employee. It sucks, but then again, what's stopping you from doing what the real reason why we had this today is employees taking like 6 or 20 consoles and telling everybody else who waited in line for hours and hours that they had no consoles the next day because all the employees took it. And they didn't need all that, just to sell on eBay to get extra little money. And that is exactly why those perks should have been limited. Now, I hope GameStop changes that, but anyway. Point is being, yeah, Sony, I think really what we should really be mad at is that, I mean, I get right, a lot of people are saying this, I mean, and then some people are like attacking other people for being mad at, like, or pushing Xbox over Sony. Dude, let's be honest, in the next 15 years, or 5 years, or 2 years, I guarantee there ain't gonna be no difference between Xbox or Sony, or Xbox or PlayStation. you're going to be able to play both games on both consoles, and it's just going to be great no matter what. Now, get me wrong, I grew up with Nintendo, and then my first game was Sony before Xbox, because Sony came out before Xbox. But the problem that I see with this is that Xbox has their lick of the litter of certain games that work good for them, and Sony has theirs, and that's the reality of it. But Sony does have some good perks that they're adding out now, and Sony will too. Xbox will have the same. But the way the technology is and what they're pushing in these consoles, I think almost every game is going to come out for both consoles, because it's not going to be, no matter if you get an Xbox or Sony, whether you like it or not. And the exclusive thing is just horrible, dude. Like, don't get me wrong, exclusives are nice to know that you can only get that, but really it's clickbait to get you to go buy that console. I mean, yeah, they're going to have to keep exclusives, let's be honest, because otherwise, if you don't have exclusives, there's going to be less sales. And one and the other, depending on the year of the console. But I think, honestly, people want the PS5 because of what it can do. And people want the Xbox because of what it can do. And that's what it should really come down to, not the games that make it. Because if you're just restricting it to one console, then you're just restricting everybody else from not getting it. And have to go out and buy a $100 console. And a lot of people don't have that kind of money. Let's be honest, the reason why they're coming out with these low-end consoles is because a lot of people don't have the money. Now, was it perfect? No. But they knew if this was going to happen, they need to go back to not allowing online pre-order. And I think that's the only reason why people were able to get Xbox this time. Because as of, I think, Woodhawker, he's beat 'em ups. He's a very good YouTuber. I watched him for years. He literally tried at the 1 minute mark. Literally at the 1 minute mark at Walmart. He was on that page before the 1 minute mark, and literally got denied, said out of stock. I'm like, what the fuck? How is that even possible? So, like, within 1 second, he was already on that page, out of stock. He barely, after, like, playing around with ePay and PayPal and all that shit, barely, after 2 seconds, after like 2 minutes, or finally getting through Walmart, Target, signing up for Target, and barely just like randomly spamming the damn shit, he randomly got a pre-order and said, thank you, pre-order, for what? He didn't even know what it was for. He didn't even know if he got the regular or the thing. That's how bad that was. And it was a freaking so much of a mess that the reason why it's happened so much, that everybody who realized they couldn't order online rushed to GameStop and realized GameStop was the only one having them and was able to actually hand them out, but then came to realize that when they got to the door, they all just walked away because they realized there was not enough consoles. So GameStop should have been, all stores should have just done in-store only. Even if there's COVID, 6 feet apart, let them in. If you go to UK for Black Friday, they make you wait in line. They make you give you a ticket, and you walk in there with that ticket, and you go in and get it. They don't let you go into the store and wait in line. They make you wait outside. If they would have, every store would have done that for the pre-orders, they had like tell you, we only have 60 tickets, we only have the first 60 people, or the first 500 people, whatever, and did no online, and just gone through the ticket, and then one person comes in at a time to pre-order the console, or 2 or 3 people at a time to come in the store. They don't literally let you walk in maybe 2 at a time. So that way there's no pushing, there's no rushing, there's no nothing. You go in there and you pre-order and you have it. That is the reality, and I'm sorry for the big-ass rant, but I think that's what companies need to start doing, and that's what Sony should have made sure, and Microsoft should have made sure to put in their notes when they went to go pre-order these consoles. Then again, they shouldn't even pre-order them unless they knew they were going to have more than a certain amount of consoles at a store. Pretty much, it was, you made everybody look like the bad guy, and it was not even our fault. You know, you did this for 5 years, there's no excuse. But come to that, I think I was talking about some of the games that I did get lucky. I was able to pre-order. I was fourth in line and I got lucky. I really did. But I didn't get lucky on the PS5. Now, PS5. Tomorrow, I suggest, if this is going down, it's in-store only. I suggest you probably sleep the night at your GameStop if you have to. I'm going to tell you right now, based on what we've seen so far, because of the way that internet has just been failing everybody, I'm pretty sure that people are going to flock right to GameStop so fast that they're probably camping out there right now. Now, not a lot of people know about this. I think I'm the second person who's actually covered this on the channel about the PS5 being pre-order Friday morning, tomorrow morning. But yeah, even if you're still, they will open at regular hours. Even if they do open early, still get there super early. I plan on sleeping in my car tonight, so I'm not gonna play because I was so pissed when I lost the first PS5, and the bundle was there, and I could have got the bundle, but I didn't. But it's okay. I think honestly, with that being said, Sony will be. I hope that people who do hear this get there early and just be patient. I don't know how many consoles are left out. We don't know how many consoles are getting out. Now, I did get confirmed. Now, he could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that you will get yours on launch day, so don't feel neglected if you don't. Because that's going to be the other thing. Maybe they just told him that, so not everybody just flocked to the store and said, oh, you can still get it on launch day when you buy it in the store. But, no, I pre-order your console now. That way, you know, GameStop has it, and when you pay it off, then they're up to it. Now, whatever the stores are closing, if your store was closing, you would know about it sooner. They would already let you know now. You're not one of the 300, so if you feel like your store is still open, they're not posting anything out saying last sales, last this, last that. Pretty much, I would say your pre-order safe for the time being, and if you need to, go ahead and pull out like the day before. They're going to have to let you pull out anyway. They're not going to be able to keep it out. So, if they go under, you just know that they're going to go out. So I would just keep an eye on your stores to make sure they're not going under. But other than that, yeah, dude, it's the whole reason why scalpers exist is because they're able to get online and hack online sites, and they're able to do it within minutes. They were talking about hacking. That's the only other reason. And employees have just, I guess that this is happening now. GameStop has done something really shady that I'm not proud of them for. And it's the reason why I like Game Crazy a lot better, because they were more honest about how they controlled their shit. Don't get me wrong, I have a lot of friends at GameStop that are pretty cool, and they were good employees, and I know they didn't do this crap, but I will say for the ones that did, they're on my shit list for real. Excuse my French, but I'm not gonna edit that. They had no right to do what they did. They had no right to sit there and order 16 of those stinking consoles. Managers were calling ahead of time to open up Wednesday early just so that the employees can get all the pre-orders. And, you know, I get it, but, dude, like, people have been waiting. Now, I get that you want a pre-order, and I get you deserve one, but you should, if you knew, I know that you weren't going to get one, but I'm pretty sure if one came in stock, one launch day, there was going to be plenty on launch day that you could have got it when you got home. When you went in there, and you get a discount anyway, so what's the point of you actually taking home a pre-order anyway when you get a freaking discount when you buy it in stock from the store? So there should have been no reason why they could have just waited. You know, they could have been the first one to buy rares in stock, and that would have been it. But to pre-order them, yeah, dude, it's a fucking mess. I don't even know if anybody's actually going to really pre-order any of these PS5s anymore. I don't know if people are going to actually, because of all this crap that's going on, do they feel comfortable even showing up tomorrow and wasting their time? Because my understanding was they waited in line Wednesday, and they got there, and then they were told to come back Thursday. Waited all morning, and then freaking waited in line, and then got told no. So, I don't know. I don't know who did that, but it was managers. It wasn't district managers. Managers were involved, but it could make sense why they're doing it. It could be that they're bailing out employees. Let's just be honest. Employees are using employees as a bait to kind of get them on eBay to make the profits, and maybe the employees are turning in the money in for a certain amount of cut. We don't know. With them to, you know, just to make bids up but high for GameStop or whatever, or they're trying to keep their stock high enough so that way they look good. But yeah, it's really ridiculous that none of the people really got what they wanted. And if they're sold to customers, I know that it's going to be very hard for them to claim their PS5. That's what sucks, is that we could have had a pre-order, but the people who missed out on pre-order could have got it, you know, been ready for it and already paid it off. But the problem is that they're not going to be able to claim it. And if they do, it's going to look shady when they look at camera and they go in there for 2 consoles and they said they got 2 pre-orders and they walk out with 2 different pre-orders and they're the owners. the managers. And yeah, they're gonna try to put the cameras and all that shit, but it's problem solved. So I think GameStop really needs to look at their employees and make sure who did not pre-order, and figure out who these fake names are, and call those customers, and call those numbers, and see if they ever did pre-order. And hopefully people are honest. But yeah, dude, it's kind of obvious that Wednesday it went out, and then Thursday there was none left. And I know that my store had like 50 consoles, and that was the low-end store for their thing, because they don't get a lot of pre-orders. So on the low side, I can imagine how many consoles were out in those other stores available at the time before they freaking decided to pre-order all of them to themselves. So yeah, it's really ridiculous, and it's one of those things where I'm glad my GameStop doesn't do that. But yeah, it's really shiesty. But yeah, as I was going into this, I just wanted to clarify that, because I know Warrior64 only heard a certain amount from what his store was doing. Now, it could be right. Certain stores are not going to let you pre-order or get it on launch date. And if that's the case, I would ask your store to before you put down. Even then, I'd still put down for it. That way you guarantee a console, because I know when stock finally hits the shelves, we don't know how much is going to be in stock, and that's going to be probably limited too. So that just shows you right there. So getting the pre-order would be okay. Especially if you don't have the money, I would try to go pre-order right now, and but I know people who saved up their whole life savings for this for a whole year long. So yeah, I mean the real problem is a mess, and it's not much of a mess. It's more much of people not doing their jobs, and that is the reality of it. And that's the real reason why we're being burned as customers, and that's not fair. I get it. I'm grateful for GameStop employees. I'm pretty sure they do a lot for their people, but you're not supposed to be hooking up friends only or just that. It's supposed to be biased. If you're a GameStop employee, you're not allowed to buy, and if you have any pre-orders, you're supposed to give them up to the customers if there's not enough. So I think before PS5s even get pre-ordered out, they need to separate and do an audit, and maybe district managers need to be there to watch them, because it's just not worth it. So other than that, I do plan on making more of this channel. A lot of it has to go with my capture card. Not able to do what I do. I can't edit a lot of the things because I can't take this off the console and like start editing. That is my issue. That and money's tight, so with all the pre-orders and stuff. But I'm praying now. The consoles, my opinion on both consoles, I want to say, because let's get to the Gushy stuff. The Xbox, it's a great console. Bethesda, okay, because it's coming. I mean, they've been working with them for years, but I'm pretty sure Bethesda could have just been fine with a contract. Not like so much as buying them out. I feel like in this whole Sega thing, I don't think it's ever going to happen. And if it does, it's going to shock me, because Sega, after Sega was Sony. So if anything, Sony would have more benefit, and they know this. Sega does well on Sony. Now I get it that some people are going to say their Sonic game is not like didn't make it, but they're in a peak. And Dreamcast guy who I watch faithfully, he's a pretty good friend. He's a fellow YouTuber. He explained it pretty well. If Microsoft was really going to do it, they would have an arm and a leg, because why would they say need to sell right now? They're in the prime of their stock market. They're in the prime of their stock, and they've been in the prime of their business at the highest so far in years. So there's no reason for them to sell out right now. And on top of that, I don't really believe that Bethesda's going to be untouchable. I think that later on, Microsoft is really gonna try to like one up Sony and try to like stop all exclusives coming from Sony to make sure Bethesda only comes out on Xbox. And I can see that happening. And what they're just telling us right now is to make everything equal, so that way they don't get backlash by Sony people. and that way people don't stop buying their Xboxes, because apparently people are going to do that. They will black call Xbox if they do that. I can see that happening. But yeah, dude, it is a temper competition, and it is business, man. That's what they did. They didn't just do that. They're not going to spend $7 billion just to have them to keep doing the exact same thing and not get nothing out of it. I'm sorry, Microsoft is not that dumb. They've always been after something. Sony, yeah, we can argue that Sony don't need anything, but if Microsoft does go that route, I would suggest Sony buy out Sega or have some kind of contract with Sega. But I honestly think that Sega has more of a chance of being on Sony than it does have on Xbox. And don't get me wrong, I love Xbox. It's a cool console. I love the graphics. It did have its one-ups before the PS4. Better graphics, better this, better that. But at the end of the day, it's still, when I'm playing with the Pro and vice versa, I'm still getting the fun out of the PS4 just as much as I was getting out of the Xbox. So, yeah, do I miss my exclusives? Yeah, but is it really worth them spending $7 billion on? No. Without some kind of saying, oh, yeah, we're just back off, still honor, whatever, and then it's going to be limited. No, so this whole inclusive thing, that's BS, but reality is they say they don't worry about exclusives. They are. I mean, I don't think we need them, but that's what the whole rule is about. It's about which console's going to have what games, and what games are going to push them. And knowing that they lost Halo this year on launch date, they're looking for exclusives. They're looking for some kind of exclusive, and then they're just going to bail rail them later in the end. Now, I'm pretty sure they have to honor the contract of Sony, and that's why they're saying it. It's not because they're saying, oh, we'll be nice enough to honor Sony's contract. No, they have to honor it because it was a deal made before it was purchased. So they have to honor those games to that console. Now, because then you're looking at lawsuits. But I'm pretty sure that as much as Bethesda is nice, I'm pretty sure Sony is going to start, but Xbox is going to try to get Bethesda to only PS and put it down on them. Now, if the contract is written a certain way, I hope it's not in the contract that they can change that, but I hope the contract is in there saying, no, we won't touch you, you can do your own thing, we don't care who you go to, we only care about our games. But let's be honest, people, like, they're looking for a sideball to win on Sony, and Sony did them dirty when they realized they had more consoles sold than Xbox. So, and no one knew how to figure out what box to get. People got the One X instead of the One X, One SX. So yeah, Twitter's beating up on that. YouTube's beating up on that, and I don't want to sound like a dying breed on it, but in reality, dude, I think honestly, as long as I've been a Sony, as long as I've been in the world of gaming since God knows the first Nintendo NES, consoles. Sony and Sega were right next to each other, and if anybody who is probably going to get it, most of those games were competitive against Sony, so it would make sense that they kind of act like they'd be Sony games anyway, because they're already built around that frame rate, around that frame kind, and that mapping and all that other stuff, and Sony could do so much with them, and they already have, like, I mean, Street Fighter, all that other stuff, so Sega, Capcom, all that, the whole company that owns Sega and all that, and Capcom and all them, I'm pretty sure that if they were going to go that route, it would be Sony, but I don't think Sony really needs to do anything about that, and that's why they're not threatening it, but I'm pretty sure they will step up to the plate in the next few months and say what they're going to really do. I think they're just waiting for their consoles to feed the next generation, which it is. I honestly got to say, Wood made it very clear that Sony did kind of win, not based on, oh yeah, well, yeah, we could talk about the Xbox has more teraflops, but I think really going to come down to it, their exclusives made them a lot better appealing. How they treated their console was a lot better. I mean, you can't deny that. Why is Xbox in 2020? I think somebody else quoted this too, and it makes sense. I didn't think about this until I realized it, until I watched them, that Sony, even though, because I was believing, trust me, I was saying I'm getting this console only, it's not worth it to get the non-disc, and then I come to realize that the non-disc is just as powerful as a disc. And I'm like, well, shit. But the only downfall is, do you, as a disc console, are you only getting that 1 terabyte as well? A non-disc console, you're only getting 1 terabyte as well, barely under 1 terabyte, and are you getting only and I like the fact that I like to own my games. I don't like to put it up in the air that Sony one day when they cancel them out like they did with Crysis. Nobody remembers that, but they canceled out the whole game for Crysis and um, completely blew off the map of the servers, and Crysis is kind of bailed out, and then that game was pretty much worthless. But luckily, I had the game. Now, if I had the game now, it'd be worth something. But I got rid of the game a long time ago, which was a dumb idea of mine. But that's the reason why I suggest I keep it, because physical copies are always going to be better, and you want that because if something does happen to a physical copy, you can always get another one. Digital, or they can at least opt you into the digital later. But the real reason is that if you paid for it, you should own it. The problem is that when you're paying for digital, they have the rights to pull that and yank it, and there you go. Now, another weird news that I didn't realize this till this week. Me and my girl were looking at God and Monsters, and we were hoping that we would get God and Monsters. And my friend Rukia plays. He's a good YouTuber as well. Go check him out as well. He was opening up and saying that they changed the name due to a lawsuit. Monster, the energy drink, decided to sue Gods and Monsters because it's called Gods and Monsters. I go, well, that ain't so much copyright. One, the game has nothing to do with a monster drink. Ooh, did I freeze? There we go. And two, it's not, the logo's not being used in the game, nor is their color or anything. So if they won that case, I highly doubt it, and I think that they just buckled and just said, fuck it, we're not going to go into lawsuit with them, just because they didn't want to waste money before the PS5 came out. But now they called it something called Fire Phoenix or whatever it's called. I still plan on getting it. I think it's really messed up that Monster decided to play that card, because they have no way of winning that, and they did somehow without even probably going to court. They probably, bullied them out of it. But reality is Monster was really screwed on that. And hearing that is like, dude, the word Monsters came out before you freaking were even in, before Monster Energy Drink even came to exist. I mean, come on now. We have Monsters Incorporated. We have Monsters all this, Monsters that. God and Monsters. It's not just called Monsters. It's not called Monsters. It's God and Monsters. And even then, games were calling God Monsters and all this other stuff before that. So they changed the name to some demon thing, and then Fire Phoenix or whatever it's called. And yeah, but to look up that, I looked up the article yesterday, and I was just kind of shocked that they would go so low to do that. And I guess maybe Monster's not selling as much as they want to do anymore, so they're going after the one thing they could have probably tried to go after. And knowing that the PS5 was coming out, and knowing that those people had contracts with the PS5, they probably didn't want to go to court for contraband and push their back date on it. And knowing that they were right in the right area at the right time, they pretty much got suckered into accepting the deal, plea deal, and saying, we'll change the name if you guys drop the lawsuit, and there it is. So, good job, Monster. You're officially just an asshole for that. I mean, it is business, but yep. Yeah, let me know what you guys think about those things. As I said, it's crazy to think about. I mean, I know both consoles have a lot to offer, and I'm going to get both consoles anyway. And that's because I like to have both consoles no matter what. But I think, honestly, people tomorrow, I hope that GameStop realizes that they can't do what they just did in there. And if anybody, that they have to release those pre-orders and those guys get fired, managers included, because there's no way of getting those back. And by the time they get done with the investigation, the PS5 is probably going to come out, and the pre-orders are going to be available, and it's already going to be too late to pre-order, and it's just going to throw everything off, and all their sales that they did with, they're probably going to, make them pay for it, but, for their consoles, and then they're probably going to, fire them too, because it just wasn't, or cancel their pre-orders, and just say we have more in stock, and maybe more stock on shelves for you guys. Maybe, hopefully that's what happens. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about it. But yeah, dude, there's been evidence, and I put it on Twitter this week. So if you watch Legend of Gamers, you go on Twitter. I did kind of post, and on Facebook as well. I was really pissed. I just was really pissed. I've never seen. I didn't think employees would be able to do get away with that, and I don't know how they did it without people being in line. And I think because of the fact that it got released early when nobody was in line in the first place, that's the only reason why they were able to do it. But yeah, dude, like, you're not gonna, I mean, if there was like 20 people in line, they couldn't have done that. And if people would have known that they were gonna be doing it on Wednesday instead of Thursday, I mean, but, within minutes, it was too late. Like, it wasn't like, it'll be on today at this store at this time, and GameStop didn't announce how they do it. Now, I know this. GameStop has a right to do their pre-orders when they want to launch them, at what time they want to launch them. So, they could have easily, to make sure everybody got pre-orders, they could have easily, when it came to the PS5, they could have easily waited and say, okay, guys, we know that they said Thursday, but we'll launch ours at midnight tonight or at 12 a.m. Eastern Time or 9 p.m. that night, and give it some time for people to actually line up there. And that would have been a right way to handle it. But instead, employees are saying, oh, well, since I'm already working, no one's here, I'm going to pre-order hell of them. And then I'm going to sell them on eBay. So that's why we have so many people. And I found out that actually most of the people that are selling them on eBay are employees of GameStop. So if you know who did it, and if you have friends who know who did it, shame on them, report them, do what you got to do, and help. Because without the honesty, GameStop, I mean, I'm sorry to say this, but if we lose GameStop, we have to lose a lot of things. I mean, Best Buy ain't going to pick up the slack. Walmart ain't going to pick up the slack. They barely have shit. And you're going to lose the one place that you can get games for cheap, or anywhere, or any collectibles, or any good bundles. And, GameStop is one of those big only ones that we have left that actually do that crap, besides mom and pop ones. That can't afford to buy out like 20 PS5s or 1,000 PS5s like the big stores do. And that just says a lot. So, I used to work at a game shop, and it was called Gamer World in Stockton, and it was worth it. It was awesome. I loved the fact that I could get a perk, and my manager was nice. They let me borrow games if I needed it, but it was always games that were already open, already used, and that were returnable games anyway. And at the same time, if I wanted to pre-order a console, I had to wait for everybody else. So, that just shows that much. But, I had a right to get on a list, but if there was enough, I could get an extra one. Or I asked her to buy an extra one, and I gave her the money ahead of time. And that was the right way to do it. But with these pre-orders now, it's just so unheard of. What was happening in 2020 today was just something that we should all be ashamed of for as a community, and anybody who worked at the GameStop or who worked as an employee who did that crap should be ashamed of their employees and their fellow friends. What they just did was make it all harder on the other employees. So that's just how that's going to go. And I honestly say that without that, I'm sorry. You had to hear a lot about it yesterday. But there's also good news. I mean, I'm coming in. I'm trying to. I'm hoping that everything does work out for everybody who's getting the PS5 or Xbox. I pray that you get it. So I just wanted to clarify, because I think 8-Bit Eric did not clarify that. He got part of the GIF, and I'm not trying to bash him, but he got part of the GIF, and then he didn't go and verify everything. Yes, Warrior64 did announce that there will be pre-orders. Yes, they are true, but everything he wrote was not 100% accurate, and I think he knew that as Warrior64, but he tried to let you guys know, and that's the first thing. But I don't think he would have done his homework. He would have found out that, no, stores are actually honoring them on pre-order day. So, I mean, even if it's pre-order now, you're going to get it on launch day. So, regardless, you just won't be able to do it online. And that is the big one, which I think GameStop has realized, and that was the smart thing to do. And I'm just praying to God now that employees already try to pre-order them. I hope those employees are fired and let go before they can get a hold of these consoles tomorrow. And I'm going to be really pissed if I can't get it. I think I'm going to YouTube myself tomorrow while I'm there waiting, so to let you know how it goes. And I'll be in Texas, so I have to Waco one. So if you guys want to come out and see me, if you live in Waco or at Belmead, near Belmead in Waco area, but it's called Belmead, the Belmead store. I'll be there tomorrow, and I'm hoping you guys will be there too. Give me a shout out, say hi, give me your gamer tags, whatever you guys want to do. I'm always looking for friends to play, especially because now I'm home by myself. Kids are at school and wife's working a lot, so I'm now going to be able to devote a lot of hours. Unlike before where I had to take care of the kids and I was jumping around everywhere and all this, I'll be able to get more hours in of live streaming. So hopefully you guys like this and hope that you guys take it on. I'm getting close to the hour mark, so I'm going to let you guys go, and I'm going to continue to play some COD. Maybe if you guys have questions about what you heard, or if you guys want to comment or thing, I'll stay online for a little bit longer. I think I'm going to go to Twitch and kind of get that out. Haven't gone to Twitch in a while, and I hope that everything works out well. All right. Thank you. Have a good day.